Hello, Internet, your friendly neighborhood gremlin here, and today we are building Frankenstein's lab, and I decided to give it to Buck, A, because the man wanted a locker room, which I didn't want to do, and B, he is green. Though to be fair, neither Frankenstein nor the monster are green in the book. I mean, I guess Frankenstein isn't green in any of the adaptations, but the monster gets a little green sometimes. And this build feels a little bit more successful on the whole science end than our alien lab ended up being, but this one presented different challenges, like trying to mesh science technology stuff with late 18th century. And I'm not sure we hit that mix very well, but we do try. And while not using the operator room floor and walls last time sort of didn't help us out very much, I'm not sure they did help us this time. Like, they helped with the whole science thing. It's at like late 18th century. I probably should have gone in and put stones in, but I was a little bit afraid that it would screw up. And I just straight up forget that I have all of those blood custom designs, which kind of sucks. So, sorry about that. Imagine it's like secretly bloodier, because it should be. I just forgot. Again, we're not going to get a build where I don't forget at least something. But given that I've been so responsible with my time today, and also this build is like really short, so it didn't take as long as it would have normally, I think I'm going to go and I'll put some blood in, and so the reveal will be bloody. So I hope that makes up for it, because sorry, I didn't mean to forget. I suppose nobody ever means to forget things, do they? Should we talk more about the build? Probably. I don't know. I enjoyed all of my like knives and tools on the wall, and those bottles are just supposed to be like, I don't know, like potions and stuff that alchemists use. But if you are ever in need of an autopsy table, I do recommend the meeting table. It was kind of exactly what I wanted it to be, and it was even on wheels, which was kind of nice. How do y'all feel about Frankenstein? Because I gotta say, I'm really not a fan. Do you enjoy the kind of horror that you have to think about to make it scary? Because I don't, and I mean, even conceptually, I don't think it's that scary. It's like horrifying, but not fear-inducing. And of course, I personally do not enjoy an epistolary novel. Like, I want to, because the idea of finding like a box of letters and reading them would be really fun. But also, people just like describe a bunch of scenes. They're not like real people letters. I think it would be better if A, they were just straight real people letters, or if you need to have scenes, to have letters and then scenes in between the letters, because otherwise it's just, I don't know, it bores me. And then of course Frankenstein is just disappointing because it is nothing like the world tells you it's going to be like poor little me in 9th grade trying to read this novel, just waiting for all of the weird mad science stuff, and it doesn't come. I mean, admittedly, I gave up in 9th grade because I was like, this is not what I wanted. But we had to read it again in college, so I have made it all the way through Frankenstein, though I definitely wouldn't have if I didn't have to. But if you are looking for fun, mad sciencey stuff, I would recommend The Monstrumologist, which is what I read alongside Frankenstein, which helped a little bit with the disappointment, because I was still getting that sort of need fulfilled, even though it wasn't from the actual book itself. And if you're looking for a really good retelling of the Frankenstein story, I would highly recommend The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein by Kiersten White, because that book was phenomenal. I really very much enjoyed it. I have read quite a few like Frankenstein retellings, which are easier to get through, because again, I don't know, it's just the epistolary and the 18th centuryness of it all. Maybe I just don't like old novels. Which I mean is kind of true, but not always. I really enjoyed Thomas Hardy when I had to read him. And Poe. I do love a good Poe, but I do suppose, on a whole, I am not a reader of classics. I have the same problem with musicals. I do not like Oklahoma, or The Prince and Me. The Prince and I, rather. The Prince and Me is a movie with Julia Stiles. The Prince and I is a Rodgers and Hammerstein musical. And like, I want to like them, because they're like the history of musical theater and whatever, but I just can't get behind it. Or Webber. I don't know if that is a controversial opinion, hating Andrew Lloyd Webber. Probably. I think most of his musicals are like beloved or whatever. Phantom of the Opera has never stopped playing. I don't like Phantom of the Opera. I also don't like Webber. Like, really do not like him. And his new Cinderella musical was trash. I didn't go see it, I watched a review, and also he was just kind of a dick to the cast. So maybe more people hate him now than did before. And I have apparently talked myself through the rest of the build. It does seem kind of pretty self-explanatory. I don't think I did anything weird. If there's anything you want to know about, you can ask me down below. I can probably tell you. Though the answer might just be my brain told me to. I didn't change the walls or the floor when I went back because it didn't occur to me until after I told him it was done. But I did turn the lights down a little bit, which maybe wasn't the best decision. It seemed like one at the time. But if you've liked this build, or you just had a good time hanging out with me, you could hit that like button. Or you can leave me a comment down below about how you feel about the build, Frankenstein, epistolary novels, literally anything at all. And of course, if you think you might like to do this again sometime, you should hit that subscribe button. But as always, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Goodbye!